there. So I hope you enjoyed yesterday's show where I spoke to you about limiting your food cravings. So now you know exactly what sort of fats to take and when. This should help diminish those cravings. And you're doing 30 minutes of cardio now. Remember that every day, 30 minutes of cardio, and next week we'll be increasing it again. But today, right now, we've got legs and shoulders. So it's going to be a hard workout again. So get ready, I'll see you there. The first exercise that you'll be doing today is the hack squat. So remember that you did this exercise last week. You're going to place your back flat against the pad and your shoulders are going to be placed underneath the shoulder pads. Now you'll be doing this exercise with a narrow stance. So when I say narrow, your heels should be about fist distance apart, toes slightly pointing out with your feet at the top of the platform. You're going to perform a warm-up set first of around 15 to 20 reps. And once you've completed that warm-up set, we're ready to get into the first working set. Remember to breathe out on the way up and breathe in on the way down. Okay, so you're ready for your first set now. You should be quite comfortable with this exercise. So when you put the weight on, you might want to put on a little bit more than you did last week. Again, your feet should be at the top of the platform, shoulders underneath the shoulder pads and your back flat against the back pad. When you come down, just come down to about a right angle where your calves and your hamstrings should be at a perfect right angle, and then you can push back up until your legs lock out. Breathing out on the way up, breathing in on the way down. Make sure that your knees follow in the same direction as your toes are pointing, which should be slightly outwards. Once you've completed your first set, do 2 more sets of around 15 repetitions to absolute failure, and make sure that you rest for about 45 seconds in between each set. Once you've completed that first exercise, it's ready to go on to our second movement, which is the seated hamstring curl. Again, this is an exercise that you did last week. As you can see, Jim is placing his ankles on the foot pad and the top brace is pushed against his thighs. This is to stop you from sliding forward as you pull the hamstring curl machine in. So put your hands onto the brace, as you can see Jim is demonstrating here. Pull in and get full contraction as far as you can. Bring those ankles in towards your butt. Squeeze at the back and then stretch right out before repeating this movement. Breathe out on the way in, breathe in on the way back up. Complete around 15 repetitions of this exercise and do 3 total sets before we can move on to the third and final exercise. Now this is a new exercise that we're featuring this week, and this is walking lunges. As you can see, make sure that your knees don't go over your toes when performing this exercise and push through your heels at all times. With this exercise, you need to be walking until you reach absolute failure. How many reps is completely down to you. Once you've completed your 3 sets, that's legs finished. Now it's time to go on to shoulders. You're going to be starting with front raises. Again, this is an exercise that you've done before. Your palms are going to be facing in towards your sides, and alternating, you're going to be bringing one arm up and then down before lifting the other arm up. This is going to be a warm-up set, so make sure that you just have a light weight to warm up your shoulders, your joints and your muscles at around 12 repetitions. Then we can move on to the first working set. So grab yourself a heavier weight that's going to allow you to reach failure at around 12 repetitions. Remember, failure is where you cannot reach one more repetition even if you wanted to. You're going to breathe out on the way up, breathe in on the way down, breathe out on the way up, breathe in on the way down. When I say 12 repetitions, it should be 12 reps on each arm. Make sure you keep your back straight, don't swing or sway your body. Keep your head up. Once you've reached absolute failure at around 12 repetitions, repeat this process twice more, resting around 45 seconds in between each set. So 3 sets is your total before you move on to your second exercise, which is the shoulder press. So make sure that you approach a power rack, like the one pictured. You're going to lift the barbell off the stays at a slightly wider than shoulder width grip. You're going to bring the bar down just below your chin, and then you're going to push back up. Make sure you keep your back flat against the pad and don't arc too much. Keep your head up straight. and breathe out on the way up and breathe in on the way down. Once you've completed 3 sets of this exercise, resting for around 45 seconds in between each set, you're ready to move on to the final exercise, which is the new exercise featured this week, and that's side cable raises. So you should find an attachment such as the one pictured that Jim is using here. It should be on a low pulley, and you're going to bring the cable up to your sides, very similar to when you're doing this exercise with dumbbells. This time you're going to use one arm at a time. By using the cable, it will add a little bit more tension at the bottom of the movement. Make sure your elbow, wrist and shoulder is all in one line as you're raising up. Breathe out on the way up, breathe in on the way down. You can support your body with the opposing hand onto the machine. This will help keep your body straight. Just focus on your shoulder doing all the work and don't sway your body back and forth. Once you've completed 3 sets of this exercise, going to absolute failure at around 12 repetitions, you can move on to the final movement, which is for abs, and this is going to be lying leg raises with your knees bent. So make sure when you're lying down on a pad, you keep your hands by your sides just to support your weight, and make sure that you don't rock back and forth. You're going to push your legs out with your feet just a couple of inches off the floor. Then you're going to tuck your knees in like Jim is demonstrating here, and then you're going to push up towards the ceiling. Repeat this until you get to absolute failure where you cannot do one more repetition. The amount of reps is up to you. Once you've done this for a total of 3 sets, resting around 45 seconds in between each, that's it, you're done for today. So make sure that you go and cool down for 5 to 10 minutes, and I'll see you back at the office. I hope you enjoyed that workout. Actually, you shouldn't really enjoy it because it's very hard training legs. Maybe you're going to feel a little bit nauseous, but that's okay. You did a good workout and it's going to pay off at the end. So if you haven't had your protein shake already, make sure you have that along with your Vitargo carbohydrates. So they'll help with your recovery, but remember you've got the whole weekend to recover as well. It's a non-training over the weekend of Saturday and Sunday, but you have to do your cardio. 30 minutes on the Saturday, 30 minutes on the Sunday, and next week we're going to be increasing that as well. So make sure you recover, and I'll see you back on Monday.